Hello, good evening, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the Overwatch Watchers Brawl. I'm 3.007. Unfortunately, we won't be joined by Sir Waltham tonight, who could not make it for reasons, and we wish him well. We are tonight going to see a losers bracket match. We have Rebind Shift on the blue and Team Mike Rec in the red. Now, both of these teams got knocked out of the winners bracket after making it a reasonable quantity of area, and now they've fought their way into losers bracket round 4. They have a reasonably even SR as well, so we're going to be seeing hopefully a pretty awesome match tonight. They're going to be opening up with Numbani at the start, and Rebind Shift will be starting out on defense with Team Mike Rec going on the offense initially. Now, Numbani being one of those maps where normally you run probably a bit of a dive there on the first point, and then maybe some sightlines open up for the snipers. But that's not always the case, and we've seen some teams do some pretty interesting stuff. Yesterday evening, however, we saw some pretty effective dives coming out from Maximize Gaming, who did a fantastic job of solidifying their presence in the Winners Bracket Finals. So tonight we're going to see Rebind Shift and Team Mike Rec possibly do the same. Now, this tournament has been a pretty good sellout so far, with teams competing across multiple SRs, and we've seen some really interesting Overwatch. However, it is worth mentioning that after Rebind Shift or Team Mike Rec take away the victory tonight, there are going to be 2 more losers bracket rounds before we get into the grand finals. That is to say, Dirt will be waiting for the winner of this match in round 5, and then in round 6, the winner of that match has to go on and face Big Oof Energy, who against Maximized Energy had a great showing, but were ultimately ousted by the team who has gone up in open division 8-3 at one point in time. So they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and whoever takes it all the way is gonna have their work cut out for them. But for now, let's see what the teams are coming out with. We're gonna be seeing the glorious and effervescent Rebind Shift with that dive we were looking at, but they're gonna be running a Soldier 76 instead of possibly a Widowmaker or another hit scan DPS. Sometimes we see McCree. So running in with the Genji with that, we're going to see some consistent damage with Genji bringing the burst. On the other hand, it looks like Team Mike Rec is going to have that Sombra, and that's going to be devastating for Pyro or X4L should either of those tanks get that hack on. So let's see how Team Mike Rec does on their pace-setting offensive to start this Numbani map. Once again, looking at that Sombra, we're going to have a lot of different strategies that could be coming out here. There is a situation where anyone who dives in prematurely, and if Sombra's ready for them, that's going to be a big if for them. However, it looks like Jaylee is going to be taking the long flank around the left side, as the rest of Team Mike Rec is also, oh no, they're going up straight for that mid-high ground. No, it was a fault. Fake. And this caster was juked out as Blazing Bob goes diving in onto the high ground. It looks like they've secured a bit of a foothold, but the bubble is down, and that means that's open season for Rebind Shift, who are going to find a target to dive, drop their own bubble, and get to work. And Blazing Bob just got anti-nated. He's going to be taken out. Ooh, no, he managed it, and there it is. And NKN's going to find him with that cluster rocket. Didn't think he was going to make it out of there, but you never know. But NKN is going to get clapped back as a result. Jaylee popping in at the exact right moment to murder the Ana, and that's with no heals and no soldier. There is a chance that Team Mike Rec have a really good shot at this point. And when you lose your main tank like that, you really have to watch out for all that damage coming in. And yes, Pyro is going to get demeched. But they're going to be keeping their team alive. Looks like Mercy was doing double duty, but that's going to be Kamina taking them out with a well-placed shuriken. Jaylee also going to clap back on the Lucio, but now he's going to pull out the Genji Blade, despite the team fight almost being won. And yes, they are going to pick up a tick, despite that ult coming out. And I think Rebind Shift are going to abandon the point. Of course, the minute I say that, that's when they decide to jump back in with their main tank, but a massive EMP on the point goes out, but NKN is going to take out Kinder on the Diva anyways with a excellently timed ult, and that's also going to grab Malorina, who was diving in possibly to go for a res, and unbelievably, Rebind Shift is going to hold on to point A. Point A on Numbani being one of those maps where you don't have as bad of a spawn disadvantage on defense as you usually might for some maps, say Volskaya. Numbani being pretty fair in terms of its walk. Both the offense and the defense have quite the trek, so getting the picks in your favor for a snowball effect on the point is massive for turning that fight into something you can win. Now, once again, it looks like the members of Team Mike Rec are going to go straight for that high ground. Diving up there, there goes the charge coming out. They weren't able to make the jump onto the Ana, so with that dive going down, that's going to be Yankee's turn to pop out the blade in face of a barrier so that they weren't able to eke out until that comes out. Now the mine comes in. No no one gets caught on the point by that Diva Bomb, and they are going to have a bit of a work cut out for them as the res comes in on Yankee, evening up the fight as another Diva Bomb goes on. That's not going to catch any kills either, and Kinder's not going to be able to get remet. A huge loss for Team Micra, who is probably going to have to get out of here despite committing a few more ults to what is ultimately a lost fight. One of the things about Rebind Shift that you can definitely say here is they are working a really excellent defense. Looking at how they're managing their ultimates compared to Team Mycrec means that in this next fight, Team Mycrec is only going to have an EMP that is if they hadn't just gotten staggered by Kamina, who was out for blood. This is going to delay Team Mycrec even further, and with a minute left, they're really going to have one solid team fight or possibly an extended brawl, and that's going to definitely favor Rebind Shift unless they drop all of their ults at the same time, giving Mycrec a chance to pop in. We see Sombra on Jaylee's Sombra now coming back into the fight, looking for that ultimate opportunity. They have a chance at the EMP. They're not going to be in place to stop any of these ults coming out, and Genji is going to wipe out the supports from Team Mycrec, and despite a little bit of a clapback from Yankee 027, that push has been decisively defeated, and unfortunately that's exactly what I thought might have happened. Rebind Shift has committed almost every single ultimate to that fight. They might get Soldier ult in the middle of this next one, but Jaylee is now in a great position to use that EMP to stop that from happening. They're also going to have the Valkyrie and definitely the Blade. Yankee showing incredible proficiency in building it up there in this twilight hour of Nirvana. There it is, the EMP has gone on the point. Kamina gets taken out early on. They're in the backline. He's swiping away at the Lucio. They go down. Good use of the ultimate that takes care of a DPS and a support, and now it's gonna, but NKN did get that Soldier ult in the middle of the fight, but Yankee 027's gonna take them up before they do too much damage with it, and now Rebind Shift has a moment of danger with only a Diva ult left to stall. They're gonna pop no one out here, and they're gonna take that advantage. No, they do get it! The Rebek kills Blazin' Bob. As a Diva player, there's nothing sweeter, and they're self-destruct did in fact de-mech the enemy Diva Kinder. And however, now once again we see an extended brawl on the point, and unbelievably, Mycrec is going to be able to take this one out in overtime, and with their 2.5 minutes left, start pushing the cart towards point B.
Moving the payload. Let's party up. I'm out of here.
Now, since Team Mycrec had to commit so much to that fight, there's not a lot of snowball potential here. It looks like the dive is kind of reconvening with the forward members of Team Mycrec setting up. In reality, you'd like to probably see only Lucio sitting on that cart moving it forward. I think there was a study done where one person on the cart versus 3 people on the cart does not net you all that much time in terms of the advantage of getting some sick map control. And as we see, NKN has that in mind as well. They're going to go back into the backline. They're going to grab the Genji. That hack isn't going to result in anything, but it is going to reveal that they have their ultimate ready to go. Despite their low health, it might actually be coming out this fight, and that's going to be, he's going to get healed up. And we have the rest of the fight going in. Hack now on Blazin' Bob. And there it is, Yankee 027, the minute they have the opportunity is going to come out, and the blades are going to come out, and there's the too late EMP to stop the barriers from coming out from either side. And instead, we're going to see a late kill, no ultimates getting it, but instead Team Mycrec cleaning up the old-fashioned way. Melorino on the Mercy doing a team member proud, jumping onto the cart and pushing it all the way to completion. Rebind Shift has a shot at this point. They have a Primal Rage and a Blade coming on. 2 excellent contesting ults. The trick is whether they're going to be able to get them back in time. That's going to be a negatory. Unbelievable. They do jump into this fight, running into 3 of Team Mycrec's ults. They have to pop out something if they're going to hold them here, as the Diva Bomb is going to come on, catch 3 of them out, and that's only going to get 1, but it was the Ana, and that's a huge loss. No heals for the rest of the team, only a Lucio. Big EMP, though, is going to come out on the point, dropping the Diva Bomb, not going to get any kills. They are holding it at 0.5 meters left onto point B, but neither team seems to be building up any sort of momentum. 2 tanks down, 1 tank each on either side, but there it is. Team Mycrec starts to build up the kills that they need. I don't think this is going to result in the final push for Rebind Shift. I don't think they're going to be able to hold them here. And the spawn advantage is, again, very powerful, 0.01 meters away. Maybe the more I keep saying that, the more likely it'll actually happen. Tracer Bomb comes out, not going to grab anyone there, but Blazin' Bob is going to pick up Chump and Pyro. on the tail end of that if they can just push them away for a little millisecond. But unfortunately, the nano boost comes out into Kamina. He gets hacked immediately, but unfortunately, it's still a lot of damage coming in. And they've moved into overtime. Incredible hold from Rebind Shift, despite all odds, as Mike Greg fights furiously to get back on the point. And yet, they did manage it just at the end, pulling off just enough kills to put it all the way through. Unfortunately, now they have about a minute and a half, and I believe even if they had 3 people on the point, that would not be enough time to push it to completion. Of course, they are racking up pick after pick, and now the snowball effect is real. We are going to see X-Frill now jumping onto a Reinhardt Pyro on the Zarya, possibly looking to get some of those fight-winning ults, and maybe counter that nasty Yankee 027 Tracer, who has been wreaking havoc on the backline. And here we go. He is swinging away. The joy of going up against a Winston is knowing that your shield is pointless, so you can just keep on shucking away. And the DPS is doing their duty. NK and Kamina both picking up kills. That's going to be very bad for the Team Mike Greg offensive. And here we have them in full retreat, possibly prepping for their one final, and now I know better, very extended team fight that could literally go any direction. And with that Sombra hack, they are going to see that Kinder has that Diva ult ready to go. Getting another hack will also help them get a little more information, but I think they can expect that just about every ultimate is coming up for Team Mike Greg, knowing that they haven't dropped one in a while, and boy have they been having some crazy team fights. X-Frill, though, already building 70% to that shatter. Incredible work with that hammer. Massive EMP goes in the back line, but not before the barriers come out. Wicked timing, very unlucky, but Kamina is ultimately going to get that Mercy, and massive shatter, there it is! He built it, unbelievable. Diva Bomb's going to get out, she's going to drop it just to get back in her mech, but a nano boost coming onto that Reinhardt just as the Diva Bomb hits him is not going to be enough to stop him, and he's going to swing for the hills. Overtime is not favoring Team Mike right here, as they're about to get unseated from the point, and they will not finish Mubadi, making it a, excuse me, Rebind Shift holding them here, and now they're going to have a chance to finish this map and win it outright.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
So, we have discussed multiple times, and we are going to take a quick pause for some technical difficulties. And I have a very welcome announcement for everyone tonight. The Dude Abides is back, ready to cast again. Joining me on Noombani, Dude Abides, welcome to Rebind Shift versus Team Mike Greg.
What's up, my friend? I jumped in to watch my buddies play, and I heard you're having all the fun by yourself, so I figured I'd join in on the fun with you.
Boy, am I happy to have you. We are just about to get started on Noombani Part 2. Team Mike Greg took the payload just a little bit past point B. They ultimately got stopped by Rebind Shift in a series of incredible fights, and now we're going to see Rebind Shift take the fight all on the offense.
Awesome. Yeah, I immediately noticed on Team Mike Greg's first shift that they're not running the same lineup they usually stick to, and I think the first couple of pushes kind of showed the synergy was not there all the way. But after a couple of the pushes, it seemed like they got it back together. Too bad they got stopped right after that second checkpoint, but interesting to see if they can work on that synergy here on defense and maybe have a strong showing.
I'm inclined to agree. The dives coming out onto point A it never seemed like they had that solid target focus. They eventually were able to push through with the sheer weight of ultimate power and some good old fashioned cleanup. But on once they were pushing up into point B and then just a little bit further, I think if they had just a tad more time, they would have synced up.
Yeah, and I think they lost a lot of time just on the first point with the really late contest by NKN, completely countering, I believe it was Yankees' huge EMP that came out. He was just able to stall that point just long enough, and that wasted it. I think another minute and a half off the clock. I think if they finish that point right then and there, we have a very different story on our hands here.
Yeah, you could say that that soldier ult was probably one of the better stalling tactics that Rebind Shift had coming out. Actually, I'm kind of curious if that ult better timed would have been able to do a full cleanup and get a full hold, but instead, Team Microwreck was able to take it all the way through. Now let's see what Rebind Shift has coming out with a very traditional, or rather should I say, angry, Pharmacy Dive.
Yeah, and we're looking like we're in a little counter dive tank line on Team Micro.
And there it is. They try to engage immediately, getting some poke in. D.Va is going to get bombed right out the bat. Defense Matrix coming out to try and stop some of those vicious rockets coming in. And seeing the boot, and there it is. They managed to find a target in the form of Yankee 027, who will not be able to force that far out of the sky. And Jaylee is quick to follow, though he does get the D-Mech on the D.Va before going down.
Yeah, most of the fight taking place off the point, but looks like some of the kills coming in the right direction for Rebind Shift, and it looks like they're actually going to clean this up and take control of the point on the first push.
Now, Team Microwreck has a potential to contest here. It looks like, however, they are going to be setting up for the eventual snowball. And there it is. They do catch NKN out, and with the Mercy as well, who was probably going for a res. So that is going to put a bit of a damper on Rebind Shift's possible snowball into Point B streets.
Yeah, definitely really good picks right there for Team Microwreck to avoid the potential snowball, as you said, because they look like they might be in a little bit of trouble right there. Definitely behind on the ult advantage, but that kind of evens it out there for them.
Yeah, and I do love seeing that realization. We don't have the time or resources to commit to another fight on the point. Let's try to stop him here, but unfortunately Kamina says, what if I just dropped a Dragon Blade and literally ripped apart every member of the team? Holy moly! That is a decisive team fight victory, and unfortunately looks like Kinder is going to have to run for the hills and get stalled just a tad with some brutal body blocking and ability usage coming out. That is awful.
And yeah, huge Dragon Blade there, and Team Microwreck, or I'm sorry, Rebind Shift is obviously very opposed to suicide, not letting Kinder finish it on his own terms.
Definitely love hearing that. Unfortunately for Kinder, though, you can kind of coerce them to murder you if you go and contest the payload, since that does mean no traffic for them. Unfortunately, that's going to be an extremely quick, unbelievable payload to Point B, and Kamina redirects Yankee 027's High Noon right into him. Oof.
Oh no, that's never what you want to see as a McCree. You know, you decide you're not going to reload, and then you end up eating the face full of bullets.
And Kinder is going to get the mech back on the D.Va as they have a very long stall ahead of them with 5.5 minutes left for Rebind Shift to push this payload just about 6 meters. A D.Va bomb is going to come out that is going to get a kill. Yankee 027! A High Noon comes out of their own, and this time it's going to be NKN who switched off the Pharah to deliver 2 murders, and a Barriers is going to come out though, and the spawn advantage here is pretty awesome for Team Microwreck. They do have a very solid shot at holding this point. Of course, Kamina has something to say about that, diving into the backline once again with that incredible well-timed Genji ult.
Yeah, they had a chance to maybe hold him there, like you said, with the spawn advantage, but Kamina just kind of reestablishes how good he is on the Genji right now. Big Dragon Blades on every single team fight, it seemed like. I think there was only one team fight he didn't have a Dragon Blade, and it was the first push of the game. And the well-deserved play of the game for our Cyborg Ninja here.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. It may have taken them a little bit of a warm-up game to get into habit, and just looking at the play here, you definitely see that the synergy on Team Microwreck was coming together, and then just Rebind Shift also got their kinks out of the way, racking up an incredible push on Nubani. And
yeah, 13 Dragon Blade kills for Kamina. I mean, that is a really good showing from Genji. That's a lot of work to put in with some shurikens and a sword.
Yeah, how do you think Team Microwreck can bounce back? What map type can they go for?
You know, they have a really strong tank lineup between Blazing Bob and Kinder. I feel like one of their advantages is Blazing Bob on Rhine. I feel like they might go for a King's Row. They have a lot of success on that map. Their defense is really strong. They don't take the typical defense, and I see it, he types King's Row. It's like I play with these guys all the time or something, you know. They have a really interesting defense where they don't hold on the point. They hold kind of far back, and I know they've stymied quite a few teams on first point in this tournament.
I think that sounds like a recipe for a comeback. And like you said, they have that tank line, and yes, we've seen some really good plays coming out from them on this particular map. So Team Reichrecht definitely not out of the running yet. Maybe we'll see some 6 sniper action, possibly some Dragon Ball, and there is going to be no side switching. Rebind Shift electing to stay on the defense at the start. Possibly some wordsmithing going on here as we create new ways to say things in English.
And as sometimes happens when you voluntarily jump in last minute to help cast, something comes up, so I need to be AFK for about 30 seconds, so hold tight. You did the whole first map by yourself, so I think you can hang for just a second. I'll be right back.
We'll make it happen.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, while the dude goes and abides elsewhere for a momentito, we're gonna choke ourselves to death. And then, rather than subject you to my hacking, hemming, and hawing, we're gonna talk about King's Row for a tad. Now, this is the moment where Team Mycrec has to mount a comeback. There is a possibility to tie on King's Row, of course, but I have no promises for not hacking and choking on my own popcorn. But what we are going to see, though, is a chance for this to extend even further into the best out of 3. But there is also a great opportunity for Team Mycrec to take this and hold this map perfectly. They are, however, going to be the pace setters, meaning since they are starting on offense, they have the opportunity to complete the map and force a map completion attempt from Rebind Shift. If they do not complete the map, similar to what happened on Numani, this being the same map type, there will be the instance of Rebind Shift being able to take the win without having to complete the map, which is one of the benefits of starting on defense.
Yeah, I really think Rebind Shift starting on defense, they're going to try and establish the same kind of tone they just set in that last map, that they're not going to be bullied around, and they're going to contest even when it looks like it's a losing push, and sometimes just one ult here and there can completely change the tide of events, as we saw in first point in Numani.
Yep, and Team Mycrec is going to be jumping in with the Zenyatta Goats composition. Very powerful, very good on King's Row. Discord, excellent use of damage and target focusing. And here we're going to see Rebind Shift coming out with that punchy no shields comp that they were quasi-famous for. Pyro on that Hammond is a force to be reckoned with, and Xfrill following in afterwards is just disastrous.
I actually got to cast Rebind Shift a few days ago, and Pyro on this map is an animal. So look to see him put in a lot of work compared with Kamina. Their dives are just insanely in sync, and here it comes right away.
And Sombra getting the hack off the Blazing Bob means that no shields for the entirety of Team Mycrec, and Zenyatta, linchpin of this Goats, is going to be the first to fall. NKN picking up the kill on the other support, a major source of sustain, Brigitte going down. That's going to be no awesome heals for anyone, and that's going to be even more kills. But they are going to get the DMAC onto D.Va, and that's a much longer walk back than Blazing Bob and Skarn have, and they're going to enjoy the advantage of having a little speed boosting coming out.
Yeah, they're really going to have to take advantage of the DMAC on Xfrill, because this might be the difference between them making this point right here or wasting another 2 minutes off the clock. So we'll see if they can come in strong and fast and avoid Pyro from pile driving Ryan on top of his head anymore.
Which he does have 80% of those mines, and unfortunately Xfrill has already jumped back on the field. Pyro goes flying into the sky, dives them once again. He's going to have his mines up in a minute, unless the Discord takes him out, and there it is! Xfrill is going to eliminate Lee, but not before the Discord takes out Pyro, and that's going to be a DMAC on Xfrill, and here Team Mycrec has the chance to coming in, and there they go, they get the hacks, but Kamina is going to come back, and here maybe we're going to see Rebind Shift. No, they're in the full retreat, and they might be surrendering their point for now to Team Mycrec.
Yeah, the kill on Pyro breaks everything wide open, but it looks like they're going to have a chance to re-engage here. Yep, Pyro's going to dive in, and we'll see the whole team following suit behind him.
Ooh, dropping the mines onto the point, but not managing to get full coverage, instead opting to drop them on the ground. And here we're going to see a Zenyatta who is very capable of killing all of those things. Major ults coming in. We have a defensive EMP coming out, so no ult combos into the graph, but sometimes just pure hot plasma from Yankee 027 will do the trick.
Yep, and they decided to be a little more merciful on maybe D.Va this time and end it quickly for her. I think a longer stagger might have done them a little bit better. But, you know.
Yeah.
Things happen.
tit for tat, etc., etc. So here we're going to see Kinder breaking it down on the point while the rest of their team surges forward. And this isn't usually the snowball you see, but it's going to be
Big
working out for
stagger
them.
there.
Massive.
I don't think they saw Kamina, who's coming around behind the massive amount of players at this choke, and she's gonna maybe be looking for a big hack on Blazing Bob right here.
I think we're going to see that Ryan Shield go down, and unfortunately that's going to be NKN now with a McCree, very capable. Here comes the Diva Bomb. It's not going to catch anyone. They do manage to get the retreat or hide behind that single, what do you call it, encounterable thing. Big Shatter comes out. It gets them in the back, but there's no follow-up, and the barriers are now in place, meaning Team Micrec has a whole lot of work cut out for them, but they're going to have barriers of their own. And here now the kills might start coming in. We're going to see Ana go down. Major source of healing. No Mas. X-Frill. D-Mac. Major source of damage prevention, which in this no shields comp was huge. They're still going to get the kill on Jaylee, but Diva's going to be prevented from remacking, and now the point crosses the first choke and into the last major point behold.
Yeah, the kill's coming through all the way. It looks like Team Micrec has really figured out what to do with this Pyro dive paired with the Sombra. And they are just pushing as far up as they can to try and, again, assert their will and try to take away the dive opportunity. I feel like the farther up they push, the less effective this dive can be.
Agreed. We might be seeing some switches come out. Probably not until Pyro has a chance to use that mine ability, with Kamina having EMP as well. Yes, here we go. We're going to see some nano mines come out, but there's going to be mostly eliminated by Jay Lee, and Pyro's going to die for the audacity. Yankee 027 though going to call from going to go down with a follow-up from Somber and Ana with X-Frill leading the charge. And Team Micrec is going to keep on pushing, but with a number of ults, they're going to have to use them wisely and avoid X-Frill's defense mages if they want to have a shot.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to not see Kamina's EMP come in when the mines go out with the nano. It seemed like maybe a missed opportunity, but she does still have it in her pocket. Look for a shatter and a bomb coming out from Team Micrec here. And as I say it, there it goes. Get out of my head, my Team Micrec.
NKN though! Kinder has absorbed a Deadeye attempt from them, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to pick up. Unbelievable, Kinder! What are you doing?
Kinder with the big bomb, getting a massive 3 picks, and there's the D-Mech on X-Frill. Pyro is the last one standing right here. See if he can stall, and the mine's placed behind the payload. Not going to get too much value out of here. We're going to have one more last stand from Rebind Shift to see if Micrec can finish the map.
And oof, what an incredible barriers. And there, unfortunately, the EMP comes out not in time to stop the barriers, but no, it did! It stopped it just in time! No barriers for Team Micrec. And now Kamina follows up with some incredible kills.
And Pyro has actually switched on to Zarya, so we're going to see a more traditional King's Row last point defense here with Ryan Zarya. Doesn't look like any other switches are coming through. We do see Melarina on Brig now. She might have switched on there to a fight or two ago, but she will have Rally to push through, and they will have Zen and a grab. So we'll see if they can get any value out of this grab. It's going to be a free grab considering there's no Diva on the map for Rebind Shift.
Yep. Very sustaining, very punchy. Still the ability to swing those rocket hammers and rocket maces right into the line, and that's going to be Kamina going down first. Shatter goes right into the shield of X-Frill. Bad timing means no Shatter for you. Grab's going to follow it up. Barriers do go down though, and possibly the kills are coming in. Yes, NKN is going to eat the entirety of that dead eye for the second time, but I don't think Team Micrec, just the minute I say it, they're starting to even up the fight, but the spawn advantage from Rebind Shift is huge.
Yeah, big trans here from Jaylee to see if they can sustain this fight a little bit more, but then a big grab coming out from Pyro to try and finish off the rest of this fight. Looks like Kinder will finally fall, and Team Micrec is going to have to finally reset here. They have 2 minutes left, so they got maybe 3 or 4 good pushes depending on how drawn out these fights get. Jaylee switching off the Zen onto Ana now, so a little bit more healing coming through. It seems like they might need a little bit more sustain with the pure amount of damage coming out from Rebind Shift.
Yeah, and with and they know Rebind Shift. Rather, Team Micrec's got to know X-Frill's building up to that Shatter, and one of the only ults that can charge as fast as an Ana Nano Boost is a Sombra hack, and Kamina is already building up to that. Also, NKN sneaking around with a very cheeky Deadeye. There's no Diva to stop him right now, but there they are. They might just be waiting. They have the hack coming in, but the EMP's going to come out first, and he gets on a kill, but not before he manages to get out alive.
Yeah, Rebind Shift is dominant on the ult economy, and they're able to win that fight with only one, trading the Deadeye for the Sleep Dart, but he gets enough value out of it to completely stymie this push. Team Micrec down to about 2 more pushes I'm sure they're going to try and bait out some of the ultimates from Rebind Shift here. Maybe get what dry push to have 4 to 5 ults come in for the last final push because they need to win one team fight and a good stagger, and they'll finish the map.
Oh, the hack goes in, but not at the right time. The shatter comes out, and it's gonna catch the shield, but unfortunately, Rebind Shift X-Ferril doesn't need a hammer down to kill anyone.
And I honestly think that's what Team Micrec was hoping would happen, because they know there goes the shatter and the EMP, so they're gonna have a little bit more of an ult advantage here. They have the only ult they're not gonna have during this last fight is Diva Bomb. They're gonna have Grav, they're gonna have Shatter, they're gonna have a Nano and a Rally. So if they can't get it done here, that will be GG's on this push.
Yep, and the Shatter has gone in. They are going to catch this one out. Big barriers, but a counter grab comes in. It's going to catch all the members, so there's no follow-up except for Blazing Bob, who dives far into the backline and does pick up Chump. Then they're going to grab X-Ferril. The High Noon comes in, but the Diva Bomb, it's going to not catch the Sombra, who teleports away just in time. NKN is going to pick up Bellarado with the Deadeye, eliminating a huge source of sustain. But the rally has already come out, which is now temporary, but it is going to provide a solid amount of shields for a solid amount of time. Here comes a big grab. They're going to focus down X-Ferril's shield, but the barriers comes in on top of the anti-nade. That means the Nano that is going to come in on Yankee has a lot of work to do, and the Shatter comes in. They're going to pick it up. No! The healing is too strong, and Haxum's on the Moira is now going to try and keep this as stall of as long as possible.
Yeah, and NKN switches onto a Bastion at the end just to pump pure damage in, and it looks like Mike Rec is not going to be able to live through the surprise Bastion switch.
Woof, and Pyro jumping onto the Hammond as well for some quick return to the payload action and very high damage means that, once again, Team Mike Rec is not able to finish the point, and they are going to have to hold the Rebind Shift Team to a full.
And I think one of the glaring things that we see in the last leg of that push is, again, I think the synergy not looking as strong as we've seen throughout the rest of this tournament with Team Mike Rec. Some of the picks that they usually would go for, you don't see them coming out. I think they're missing a lot on Thrill not being out there for their DPS, one of their shining stars on the DPS line. But they're still, I mean, they almost finished the map, so they're just going to have to play some really strong defense here. And I think on Kingsrow, their defense is one of the better defensive setups we've seen in the tournament so far. So we'll have to see if they can sustain the Pyro Kamina dive, as we've seen exhibited, and how good they are at coordinating these dives.
One thing that we have mentioned before time and time again now during this match has been Rebind Shift's ult economy is just top notch. And Team Mike Rec there syncing up very nicely, but ultimately, no pun intended, unable to push the cart all the way to its culmination at point C. Now, that could be just the indicator that this is the situation where Rebind Shift has an opportunity to push in, and Team Mike Rec also has one last chance to reconvene and make sure that they keep a fight-winning combination in their back pocket at all times.
Yeah, I was actually hoping to see the comp for Rebind Shift stay where it was, because it looked like they were going with triple tank dive, but they're actually going to stick with their Sombra Hammond dive with Diva and then Pharah flying high in the sky. So hopefully Yankee's going to be able to handle that Pharah, otherwise they don't have a hits game.
It is going to be up to Yankee to take out this Pharah, which is a popular choice along with Junkrat against this kind of composition coming out from. And the big hack goes into Blazing Bob, and that's going to be Pyro's chance to dive in. They are going to get the Zarya shield onto Blazing Bob, however, so he's going to live long enough to get his shield back up, though Pyro just wreaking havoc in the front lines. They are going to lose a tick to Rebind Shift already, as just the disruption from Pyro is so massive.
Yeah, that's one of the really good things you see at the higher level of play. One tick is not as big of a deal as if you can sustain and get back onto the fight. And it looks like Yankee is putting in some absolute work, and Mike Rec is going to do absolutely that. They give up the first tick for the sake of being able to reestablish themselves, back off, give a little space, and then come back stronger once Blazing Bob's shield regenerates fully.
Yankee bringing up his dragon so quickly, and he's going to take out NKN after a brief duel that almost saw him get taken out. But the res is going to come in. That just means that resource has been depleted, and Yankee probably going to firing off those dragons to get Kinder a chance to generate some charge and build that Grav up for a sick Dragon Ball combo.
Yeah, not close enough to the Grav for Yankee to wait, so I'm sure we'll see it coming onto the point right here, I would imagine. NKN gets shut down as he ults, and here comes the beat drop.
Unbelievable! X-Ferril eats the dragons! Expo being in just the right position to drag that out. They are going to get demeched though by Kinder, making it a much more even fight. Despite Pyro being on the point, he's going to be antied and dropping his nades though, not going to catch anything other than some charge for Zarya. And Yankee 027 is continuing to pick off members of Rebind Shift.
Yeah, a lot of feels bad man's coming out there right now. The shield into the mines and the dragons getting eaten. A lot of potentially big plays get completely shut down. And as you say, do nothing but to feed Zarya some charge. And now she is really close to a grab, and Yankee all the way back up to 70%. He's going to have a Dragon Ball coming up here for this next fight, which might be able to do it, but it depends on Kamina and that EMP coming through.
Yep, it does look like Kinder is going to be able to get back on the point in time to make this next fight a 6v6. Kamina with the EMP, though, has a huge preemptive opportunity to stop this fight before it even begins. They have to catch that Dragon Ball if they have a shot.
I would imagine we'll see Xferil throw his bomb in on top of the EMP, which they did expertly in the game I casted on the King's Row before. They got multiple, and here it comes.
Perfect timing, and they get 3. Xferil, yeah, absolute madman, not content to let Kinder get the joy. You're gonna grab a 3K of your own. That's gonna be point A.
And it is becoming more and more clear to me that I have good insight of the game that clearly trumps my actual skill in this game. So.
I mean, let's be honest. You nailed it. You frickin' nailed it. You called the EMP coming out at the exact right possible point, and there was just really good timing. Xferil throws the bomb out first, knowing that that ult's gonna give them a chance to possibly run away, and then Kamina comes in with just an incredibly placed EMP, and here they're gonna...
Pyro doing his best to try and stagger these split spawns that are coming through right now. Looks like Yankee is just popping off on Hanzo on this King's Row defense right now, and Mykrek is actually gonna avoid being split up, and because they did get some really bad spawns. Half their team spawned up front, the other 3 behind, and they're able to actually sustain and reestablish. So we're going to see them probably hold at this bend right here in Streets phase.
Yeah, rather, Rebind Shift coming up on some ultimates, but the option for Team Mykrek to just utterly take this fight with no questions asked is present. Pyro is going to get the ultimate, though, and with that, he gets stunned! His mines start to come out, but Brigida gets him! I didn't even know you could do that! That's incredible! And the Dragons is going to come in. It's not going to get any kills. Fire just a little too close to the skirmish, but they are going to pick up Ana, and that's going to be a major source of healing down.
Amazing game sense by Melarita to notice the little do-do-do sound cue and just hammer him away, and I've actually never seen his ultimate canceled before, so you learn something new every day, don't you, bud?
You saw it here first. The dude, honestly, like that, I thought I couldn't be surprised anymore in this game, and here we are. And here comes Pyro once again, speaking of surprises, charging right through this little head. A big shatter comes out though from Blazing Bob, catching so many members of Rebind Shift, but no follow-up. And instead, a rally's gonna have to come out on top of the barriers. Little bit of a duplicate, neither of those ults last anymore. The Eva Bomb though is gonna catch Kinder a little too far back to get that massive play like you used to see. An area denial goes into the bar. That's a nasty situation for that to be.
You don't usually see Streets phase be this difficult to push through. So Mykrek doing a really good job of just defending the right way, stalling long enough. They're actually going to be able to reestablish here with a full team fight if they decide to do so. If they don't get picked off, never mind. That might be the end of this point. We will have to see if they decide to re-engage. Oh, it looks like they're probably going to back off and try to regroup for a full team.
NKN showing some ridiculous flexibility, now on a Widowmaker and headhunting for days.
Yep, so Team Mykrek has 2.5 minutes for their tournament life to see if they can hold on and force it to a map 3.
And they have a shot. Their ultimates are doing better, just like we mentioned. They're maintaining a really solid economy. Kinder about to have Dragon Ball coming up, but Team Mykrek also has some arsenal of their own. They have that devastating EMP battle going. Repeatia! Pyro, what are you doing? You're knocking Kinder into the wall? That's going to be a major source. No more charge for you, Zarya. Your Dragon Ball potential is gone. And now with the bombs, he gets booped in. Blazing Bob, he falls down. Or rather, he gets booped into the mines, and that's going to be the end of him. Jay Lee going in for some last-minute stall. Brilliant maneuver here, getting some great sustain, knowing that the spawn advantage is so huge. They're going to be out before the next fight starts.
One of the tough things about trying to stop Pyro here on this Hammond is a lot of times not many people are used to playing against a good Hammond because you don't really see it on the ladder. So when you see something you're not used to, you're not really sure how to stop it. And at Pyro, every time I've seen him play on this map, he is just unstoppable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, his power. And he is going to go diving into the backline once again. Nasty Entity comes out together to stop the Dragon Ball again before it happens. Rebind Shift clearly identifying their win condition. Dragons are going to come out anyways, though. And the EMP, though, is going to come out as well. That's going to be a couple of members hacked. They're not going to stop the bomb. That is going to pick up Yankee 027, though. And here we go, Pyro just wreaking havoc once again. Melorina the only one left on the point. Now a Grav, though. Barriers is going to come and save Pyro's life, probably. He is going to also have some Ana support. Blaze and Bob gets forced down again. Massive anti-nade from Haxem EMP. And that's going to be... no, they're still stalling because Team Minecraft is tenacious.
Skarm is going to be spinning to hopefully win it. He will finally get taken down, and that looks like that'll be the end of the tournament life for Team Minecraft. A really, really good showing. End up going against some really strong competition the last 2 games that they play. And between Pyro, Kamina, and NKN, they just very, very difficult to stop that well-timed dive.
Yeah, it's an 0-2, and here we go again. The shift coming out, timing with the EMP just a little too miss with the Zarya bubble and the shield coming in there. I'm actually kind of surprised that didn't result in a full shatter of the team. Extra gets to play the game anyways, though, because he then just went on to murder everyone thanks to EMP.
I mean, it's a fun time to just be swinging your hammer and murdering everything. I always enjoy a Reinhardt play of the game.
Also, Kamina getting 61 enemies hacked. That just boggles my mind. I didn't think there was enough time in an Overwatch match for that. But we're going to see them again. Maybe they'll top that number. Well played to Team Minecraft. They are going to have made it to Losers Bracket Round 4 before saying goodbye to the Overwatch Watchers Brawl for this month of January. And Rebind Shift will move on to face Dirt in Round 5 tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'd actually be pretty intrigued to see how many of those 61 hacks came from EMPs, because the EMPs that he is able to pull off are just absolutely massive. I actually got to interview Kamina after their last game, and he says they practice the EMP Diva Bomb all the time, and it shows. They said if they get less than 3, they're disappointed in that combo. So they're very confident in it, and it went to show tonight just how well timed those come out. Diva Bomb goes out last second. There goes the EMP, and goodbye to your push.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This has been Threepwood007. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Threepwood007.
And this has been the late edition of The Dude Abides. Catch me on Twitter at TheDudeAbides_B, and on Watchpoint Radio at Twitter. It is, what is it now again? Just Watchpoint Radio on Twitter. There you go. I had a brain fart.
Well, thank you so much, dude, for abiding with me tonight. We are going to sign off here. Thanks for joining, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Later, guys.